Hi again everyone, and welcome back to our cook-along. This week we thought we would make some lentil soup because it's really cold outside. I don't know about you, but there's snow in it lying around. The time you're watching this video probably the snow's all disappeared, but I thought a really nice thing to warm us up is a really good hot bowl of soup. So I'm going to show you a really easy lentil soup recipe. Now it's absolute magic soup. If you have got a few vegetables kicking about your fridge and a few stock cubes, that's all you need. You can make any flavour of soup you like. Be imaginative. You don't need a recipe for this, although I will put up the quantities at the end, but I just throw in anything. Now you'll see I've prepared some vegetables already. Now all I've got here is a potato, an onion, a piece of celery and a carrot. That's all you need. I like to make a big pot of soup because I'm feeding quite a lot of people, but if you just want to make a small amount you can, although I think it's better to make a bigger quantity and then you can always freeze some for another day, or you can give some to your gran or your neighbour or somebody. Now remember, when we're chopping up the vegetables, we're always working on the biggest flat side. You'll see I'm using the bridge hold, remember, and the claw hold. That way we don't cut ourselves. Now once you do one vegetable, get it off your chopping board onto the plate. Give yourself plenty room to work. Now you've probably not all got big knives like these, like the ones we have in the school at home, so that's absolutely fine. You can just use the small knives as well. So we're going to take our onion, which we've peeled, cut in half through the root. You can just about see the root on there. So put it on its flat side, bridge hold, cut in half through the root. And I always usually do this with a big knife, but you can do it with a small knife if you're not confident using the big knives. Then we're just going to follow the natural lines of the onion, cutting it at an angle, and then turn it round and holding it with your claw hold. Remember, tuck your fingers in so we're not snipping off these fingernails, and then you're just going to cut it across that way. Now when you get to this bit, it does start to spread out a little bit, so just flip it over and just trim round the root, and then you can just discard the root. Now I'm going to do it with a big knife for the other half. And you see how I'm switching between the claw hold and the bridge hold. And then I'm going to put my knife down somewhere safe and just pop that onto my plate. Now the celery, if you cut it into thin strips first, so take your stick of celery which you've washed, cut both ends off, and then you're going to cut it lengthwise into thin strips, and then again using your claw hold. This is a really good one for practicing your knife skills. Try and get that circular motion, go really slow to begin with, keep moving your fingers back. And then I'm just going to pop that on the plate beside my other vegetables. Carrot, you've peeled it, you've top and tailed it, claw hold, cut a strip off, and then pop it onto the biggest flat side, cut another strip off, flip it over, and keep doing that, and then we're going to cut each strip into matchsticks. And then gather all your sticks up, claw hold again, and then try and do this circular motion with your knife. As I say, don't worry if you've not got a big knife, slide that away and then start on the other half of your carrot. Always wipe it away from the blade. The wee knife's fine, you might just need to do it in slightly smaller bundles, but just take a wee bit longer, but it's absolutely fine. So just pop all your vegetables onto your plate, and then we're ready to go across to the cooker. Right, okay, so now we're over to the cooker, and I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of oil. I'm just using olive oil, but vegetable oil, any kind of oil is fine. And I'm going to turn the flame on, if you've got a flame or if you're electric. Put it onto a low heat, just warm your oil. And then I've got my plate of vegetables, and I'm just going to add the vegetables to the pan. Just get a spoon and give these a coat with the oil. Now we're going to sweat these vegetables, so pop the lid on, leave it on the low heat for 5-10 minutes just till your vegetables start to soften down. That's what sweating is. So that's the vegetables sweated down for about 10 minutes. Now we're going to add our lentils and our stock. Now it's up to you what kind of stock you like. I like, with a lentil soup, I like to add ham stock, but you can add vegetable or chicken or a combination of ham and vegetable, whatever you prefer. Now, because I'm making quite a big pot of soup, I'm going to add 4 stock cubes to my soup. Now, you can dissolve these stock cubes in water first, but I don't bother. I just put them straight in because it's going to boil in here anyway, so they're going to get dissolved fairly quickly. So in with your stock cubes, or if you've dissolved them already in boiling water, you don't need to do this part. And then I'm going to add 150 grams of lentils, and then just give that a good mix. And at this point I would add a bit of salt and pepper, but not too much because your stock cubes have got salt in them, so just a wee bit for now. You can always add more later if needed. A few grains of black pepper. Now in with your water. That's 1 litre. We're probably going to need about 2 litres, 1.5 to 2 litres for this. Now it might look runny just now, but once your lentils and your potatoes start to swell up, that's what's going to thicken your soup. So I'm going to add another litre, and then lid on. Put it up to the highest heat till it comes to the boil, and then we're going to turn that down and simmer for another half an hour to an hour, depending on how much you've got. Right, so here we are. This has been simmering away now for about 40 minutes. So we're just going to give it a little stir. So Mark, if you want to come over and have a look. I don't know if it's a bit too steamy, but how do we know when it's ready? You can see that's thickened up nicely. Now, to test if it's ready, just take your spoon and press your vegetables against the side of the pot. Can you see how they've squidged really nicely? That means the soup is ready to serve. If you've only got a few potatoes, carrots and onion, whatever you've got, you can make a delicious meal